réseaux sociaux buzz. Bakpatou, Songi Songi, Kongosa, Koromoto, Legede. Venez. Venez vous informer en temps réel. Écoutez les critiques, les analyses avec Maman Buzz sur réseaux sociaux buzz. Ici, pas de critiques stériles, ni tête ni queue, pas de polémique. Maman réseau, Maman Buzz de tout le monde est là. Maman Buzz sur réseaux sociaux buzz. Et Lengue Zangali Passa. Le goût qui n'a pas de concurrent.
Enfin, le docteur et ami de Ned Nwoko vient demander à Regina Daniel de rentrer auprès de Ned Nwoko, lui demander pardon et d'accepter d'aller se faire désintoxiquer parce que elle pense que ce sont des effets de la drogue et des mauvaises fréquentations qui fait que Regina Daniel se comporte comme ça. Elle croit fermement à la version du mari de Regina Daniel. Elle croit. Elle demande à Regina Daniel de rentrer dans la maison de son mari, lui demander pardon, d'accepter d'aller dans des centres de désintoxication et qu'elle rentre pour s'occuper de ses enfants. Pourquoi elle dit ça? Elle dit ça parce que elle continue à dire, elle dit ça en tant que mère. L'âge à laquelle Regina Daniel a, pratiquement a le même, son fils, cette docteur ici, la dame ici, son fils a le même âge que Regina Daniel. Donc, en tant que maman aussi, elle conseille comme ça à Regina Daniel. Alors, dans la vidéo que vous êtes en train de voir, le lunette là, c'est dans cette vidéo-là que les Nigériens ont réagi. Ça, c'est une vidéo qui est en français. Mais la vidéo du docteur Kemi, c'est la vidéo qui est en anglais. En bref, c'est ça. Il y a d'autres vidéos du docteur Kemi. Quand cette histoire a commencé, elle dit, dans d'autres vidéos, je vais faire seulement un gros résumé, comme ça je vais laisser, parce que de toutes les façons, l'anglais des Nigériens, c'est pas un anglais très difficile à comprendre. Même si tu es francophone, c'est très facile à comprendre. Mais je vais quand même mettre la vidéo que vous êtes en train de voir là en lignette et l'autre vidéo à côté de docteur. Toutes les vidéos qu'elle a faites en fait. Oui, ça fait 4 jours qu'on a vu Regina en train de pleurer, elle ne peut plus supporter, la violence c'est très fort. Et son mari était sorti pour contester que Regina a une mauvaise fréquentation. Il a même cité le nom d'un de ses fournisseurs de la poudre. Elle a parlé. Dans la vidéo que vous êtes de voir le lunette là, c'est là, les Nigériens n'ont pas vraiment aimé la sortie du mari de Regina. Mais le docteur de Regina et de son mari, une amie de Ned, dit qu'elle était au courant de tout, que c'est Regina qui est le problème. Elle est le problème parce que elle est en train de prendre des stupéfiants. Alors, ma question, je vais vous laisser suivre toutes ces vidéos, mais je me suis seulement posé la question. Regina Daniel, avant son mariage, elle était propre dans son corps. Elle n'avait pas de tatouages. Elle était très stable mentalement. Les docteurs de Regina est même allé plus loin pour dire que c'est les frères de Regina qui l'a rendu comme ça parce qu'elle dit que une fois qu'elle a fréquenté Londres et qu'elle a vu son frère là-bas, en revenant du Nigeria, elle avait complètement changé. Elle a commencé à fumer, à prendre des stupéfiants, à boire, à sortir dans des boîtes de nuit. Donc, les docteurs ici accusent indirectement le grand frère de Regina d'avoir une mauvaise influence. Elle dit encore quelque part, elle dit au Nigeria de ne pas s'occuper de la sortie officielle de son frère parce qu'il a toujours été une mauvaise influence pour Regina. Et qu'elle demande à Regina de rentrer dans son mariage, de lui demander pardon. Alors, une fille qui était totalement différente avant de se marier et qu'elle est mariée, elle a même des enfants. Nous, on sait, nous sommes en Afrique. Nigeria n'est pas en Europe, Nigeria est en Afrique. Nous sommes en Afrique. Quand une fille déjà en Afrique, même si elle a 20 ans, 18 et 20 ans, quand elle a déjà un enfant, généralement, les filles deviennent matures, exemplaires. Mais avec Regina, on ne cherche pas la cause, on cherche à traiter les effets. Pourquoi ne pas creuser un peu pour chercher la cause? Pourquoi Regina est en train de faire ça? Au lieu de chercher les effets. Moi, je trouve que c'est un peu injuste de la part de ces docteurs ici. C'est un peu injuste parce que Regina a déjà fait 3 jours. On ne la voit pas. Elle est complètement disparue. Elle est portée disparue. Elle est où personne ne sait. Voilà pourquoi ce docteur est passé sur les réseaux sociaux pour lui demander de rentrer dans la maison de son mari. Alors, on va suivre toutes ces vidéos. Quand vous allez suivre ça, donnez-moi vos avis dans les commentaires. Pourquoi on cherche à traiter les effets, on ne cherche pas la cause. Cette fille n'était pas comme ça avant son mariage. Qu'est-ce qui a fait qu'elle change comme ça? Mais non. Et ce sont des femmes qui disent ça. Je m'étais dit que peut-être ce sont des traumatismes, mais il y a une ancienne vidéo de la maman de Regina. Je ne veux même pas mettre ici. Il y a une ancienne vidéo de la maman de Regina parce que plusieurs personnes étaient en train d'accuser la maman de Regina de la forcer d'entrer dans ses mariages. La maman de Regina a fait une vidéo, je crois que ça fait 2 ans ou 3 ans passés. Elle disait que ce n'est pas elle qui avait forcé Regina d'entrer dans ses mariages. Ce n'est pas elle. Elle a accepté, mais c'est Ned de son plein gré. Elle est partie dans ces mariages-là de son plein gré. Maintenant, à qui la faute maintenant? Parce que les gens ne veulent pas blâmer Ned. Ils blâment Regina. Ned lui-même expose sa femme. Ce n'est pas moi, c'est elle-même. C'est à cause de tout ça là. Pourquoi on cherche les effets alors que la cause, pourquoi elle a changé? C'est ça ma plus grande question. Et j'aimerais aussi avoir vos avis. Abonnez-vous sur les réseaux sociaux Buzz, cliquez la cloche de notification, aimez la vidéo, commentez, partagez. Suivez.
Les Nigérians sont fâchés. J'adore ce peuple. Le sénateur a dit que sa femme fume la drogue, non? C'est pour ça qu'il a envoyé les gens la tabasser ou je ne sais pas quoi. Donc les gens ont écrit en commentaire. Malgré c'est un sénateur, ils ont posé là-bas ce qu'eux aussi ils pensent. Il y a une fille qui a écrit. Regarde ce que tu as transformé une jeune fille innocente. Tu as épousé cette dame, une vierge. Franchement, ma chérie, tu as bien dit. Quand il épousait Regina Daniel, elle n'était qu'un bébé. Il dit, tu l'as transformée en usine de bébé. Maintenant, tu as bouleversé sa vie. Tu en as fait ton punching ball. Et tu es là sans vergogne à dire de quelle partie de ta bouche n'as-tu pas honte d'écrire de telles ordures. Oh, j'adore les Nigérians. Ça dit que trop solidaire. Quelqu'un a écrit aussi, cela justifie-t-il que vous envoyez des voyous pour tabasser votre femme? L'autre a écrit, quelque chose est louche. Vous avez mentionné le mot drogue plus de 8 fois dans la légende. Vous couvrez quelque chose sous le déguisement de la drogue. C'est le même playback qu'un Naira Marley a utilisé quand Mobat est décédé. Et j'espère que TikTok ne va pas m'évanouir. Et il a écrit, vous faites cela dans l'espoir que les gens pensent qu'elle a des problèmes mentaux. Donc, ce qu'elle dit est invalide. Le temps nous le dira. Bien. Je n'arrive pas à croire. Quelqu'un a écrit, à ta vieillesse, tu devrais conseiller tes petits-enfants, pas des bêtises. Merci. Quelqu'un a écrit, vous vous protégez simplement en essayant de déplacer l'attention sur Regina. Nous ne connaissons pas Regina en tant que toxicomane. Nous parlons ici des violences conjugales. Avez-vous déjà posé la main sur elle, oui ou non? C'est de ça qu'on parle. On dit maintenant, vous devriez nous dire ce qui lui est arrivé. Elle n'était pas comme ça. Alors, qu'est-ce qui a mal tourné? À quel moment est-elle passée à cela? Quelqu'un a écrit, tu l'as épousée très petite et innocente. Elle vit avec toi. Comment vous la laissez commencer à prendre de la drogue? Vous devez expliquer ça. Vous voyez, c'est ce genre de réaction que j'attends souvent de mes consoeurs ivoiriennes quand il y a des problèmes, de mes consoeurs des autres pays francophones. Parce que vous savez, quand il y a des problèmes comme ça, là, vous allez voir que les hommes vont toujours... Quand il y a affaire des violences conjugales, on va te faire sortir un discours de « parce que ma femme a fait ci, parce que ma femme a fait ça ». Pourtant, rien ne justifie la violence conjugale. Il n'y a rien qui justifie la violence conjugale. Ça, c'est un truc... Ce sujet me tient beaucoup à cœur. Je ne vais pas vous dire pourquoi. Mais les violences, là, c'est pas un truc que je... J'ai l'impression qu'en Afrique, c'est tellement banalisé. Et tant que quelqu'un est ta femme, tu peux faire ce que tu veux de la personne. Nos parents ont vécu ça. Hein? Nos mamans ont vécu ça. Nos grands-mères ont vécu ça. Dans ce monde encore, le 21e siècle, si une petite fille comme ça, une toute petite, un bébé comme ça, là, tu es venu la prendre devant tout le monde ici, elle ne connaissait rien là. Elle crie, violence, les violences sont trop. Et toi, tu nous sors une vidéo, là, de protéger ta femme, tu nous sors une vidéo pour nous dire que ta femme, c'est une droguée. Ah, Seigneur. Souvent, tu regardes tout ça, même tu te dis, c'est pas mieux, tu vas rester chez toi à la maison. Mariage assez forcé. Ah. Pour avoir les produits d'Abidjan Shopping, regardez sur le profil de la page. Merci les amis.
Good morning, everybody in Nigeria. I want to do a video about Regina Daniels, another update. It's Wednesday, the 22nd of October, 2025. I want you to listen carefully to this video. I don't really care about anybody's opinions. I'm going to give you the information you need to know. I'm not blaming Ned Nwoko for anything in this crisis. Okay, I'm blaming Regina 100%. And I'm going to talk to you with tough love. My youngest son is 25 next month. Regina just turned 25 this month. KG and Regina, as you see, they met in Abuja. They became friends. They switched numbers because they're the same age mate. Ned and I in our 60s. Unfortunately, the way you guys look at it, you think Ned is 70-something years old man, Pa Ned, all that. Ned and I were looking at KG and Regina making friends. One is my son, the other is his wife. Switch the roles. Regina's really Ned's daughter, if you look at it that way. So let's switch roles again. We're going to put Regina as my daughter, and I'm going to talk to her the way Rita Daniels needs to be talking to her right now. Okay, listen very carefully. Only an intelligent can understand why I'm doing this video. Everything I'm saying in this video is real. So listen very carefully. Okay? Regina, I hope you're watching my video. It's your mom, Dr. Kemi. Okay? Or at least I'm old enough to be your mom. I need you to leave wherever you are and go home. Go home to your husband and get into rehabilitation. Okay? I've done a lot of work in my lifetime on drug abuse. I'm not here to rehash all of it, but briefly, the United States government, Senate, Congress, House, Governor, County Executive, and President Clinton, they all awarded me for my work. I know how to get people off drugs. With everything I did in the 90s, in my 30s, I took it to Nigeria and I joined the NDLEA Spaces every Friday for 30 months. 30 months, 2.5 years. Educating Nigerians about drugs in schools, workplaces, and communities. Whatever is happening in your marriage, okay, did not lead you to drugs. Forget what Nigerians are telling you. Oh, something must have happened in her marriage that led her to drugs. No. People don't get led to drugs from bad marriages alone. People use drugs for recreation. That's why we have recreational drug use. And it starts by somebody offering you the drug and giving you assurance that you'll feel better because of this and that. This is how it starts. Your husband, Ned Nwoko, is saying that your brother, Sammy, and your friend, Ann, Cassie, are the ones supplying you drugs. They use you to get money. They use you for a lot of things. And they want you impaired. This is what we heard Bella Shmurda was doing with Mohbad. This is exactly what happened with Michael Houston and Whitney Houston. Michael was supplying Whitney crack cocaine, introduced her to drugs, and they blamed it all on Bobby. I am the one that interviewed Bobby's mom, Carol Brown, before she died. And she told me that Bobby never introduced Whitney to any kind of white powdered substances. It was just marijuana and weed. I worked with Whitney and Bobby on the set of their reality show, Being Bobby Brown. I saw it all. The fights, the drugs, everything. Whitney will have me crossing the road to go buy cigarettes. And I'm like, we're not buying cigarettes today. She could smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day. And some of you are saying, what does Whitney have to do with it? Because you were not born. Listen to the voice of reason. I'm Dr. Kemi Olun, lawyer, pharmacist, journalist, PR specialist. I'm a drug abuse counselor. I'm recognized globally on this stuff. And if you've not heard a bit about me in your country, America and Nigeria, I do a lot of work on drug abuse. For those of you that are rallying around Regina against her marriage, I am not a fucking marriage counselor. I'm a drug abuse counselor. You want a marriage counselor, go call Blessing CEO. I was on Kike's show yesterday. Real Talk with Kike. I will share the YouTube link. You all going to need to go watch my interview with Kike. Kike and I were divided in some areas. What concerns you guys with her marriage? Excuse me? Those of you who are Regina's friends, what concerns you with her marriage? Are you not benefiting from Regina? Regina has a future ahead of her. Some of the stuff I'm not even supposed to be telling you from my visit in 2021. Ned wants to build a media empire for her. Regina Daniels Entertainment. Music, television, everything. This woman, this young lady, I don't like calling Regina a young lady. She's a woman. She's a mother. She has the potential to be the next big media mogul in Nigeria. Do you see Mo Abudu using drugs? Do you see certain people in this entertainment business even touching drugs? Have you seen me use drugs in my life? People don't like my journalism work. They say, oh, this woman is a drug addict. This woman is in Yaba Left. No, I'm not in Yaba Left. I'm not going to Yaba Left. I'm not a drug addict. I've never smoked. I've never used drugs. I've never abused prescription drugs. Regina, your husband came online and said you were on cocaine, marijuana, opiates, and alcohol. And you went on a rampage. This is what those drugs do. It's not you, Regina. It's the drugs that are working inside you. You went on a rampage and you destroyed cars, windows of a Ferrari, windows of a house, chairs. Let me tell you something, Regina. You can destroy anything you want. Those can be replaced. Do you know that? Destroy that Ferrari, destroy that Lamborghini, destroy that Bentley. I will look at Ned. Ned, give me money. Let me go buy a new Ferrari, a new Bentley, and a new Lamborghini. But Regina, I cannot replace you. When you're dead, you're in a casket and you're 6 feet under. I can't replace Regina. For those of you howling in the background. And Sweezy, stop talking. Stop talking and writing nonsense that Regina has no affiliation with drugs or drugs of abuse. She does. There are medical reports to say so. Confidential medical reports. But her husband to come online and say that to the public, there's something there. And the place where I disagreed with Kike is when Kike said, if you're a woman in Nigeria, they will either call you a prostitute, a drug user, or a mad person. I'm sitting here, my own father did the same thing to me. When I spoke to Kike's husband 2 days ago, Ruben Abati, you all know Dr. Abati, Ruben said we were all raised to love Governor Olunloyo. He was a good man, he was there. I said, that's what you saw on the outside. What made my father write Premium Times to call me a mentally insane woman that's always accusing him of sexual abuse? Did I ever accuse my father of sexual abuse? No, that was my father's way of turning the real sexual abuse to another story. I was assaulted as a 13-year-old on Ikoroduro during the Alimos Go riot. I've told my story 10,000 times. You know the story. So when you want to tell your story to free you and clear your mind, and your father doesn't want the world to know that he ran away when they were sexually assaulting his 13-year-old daughter, he ran for his own life. He doesn't want the Nigerian political and the media to ever know that part of his life. So he now makes the daughter look like she's mad. And everybody bought it. I lost jobs. I lost opportunities. I lost a lot in Nigeria. And that's why I'm never coming back. But in Nigeria, we're back to Regina. Like Kike said on the show yesterday, they will say that you're mad, you're a prostitute, or you're on drugs. This is not the case. Regina is on drugs. A lot of drugs. That was introduced to her by her own friends and her own brother. Just the same thing that happened to Whitney. How Michael introduced her to drugs. Regina, let's get back home. Senate wives Don't call me. Don't message me. You should be facilitating her return home to her husband so they can ship her to the right rehabilitation. I said ship her to the right rehabilitation. I'm using tough love. Regina, what is going to happen to your children? I saw the message your husband wrote you. He forwarded it to me to read it. Kemi, this is what I've been battling for the last 8 months. Regina, what is going to happen to you? My health is deteriorating. What is going to happen to you? And I'm worried about what is going to happen to our children. If your husband is telling you that, what if he falls down dead tomorrow? You're dead tomorrow. Regina, all the other wives and all the other children have their moms. Kemi Olunloyo, retired journalist, Dr. Kemi. It's Saturday evening, the 18th of October, 2025, and I really have some piece of bad news that I want to share with you. For me personally, it's bad news, and I'm very sad tonight. I'm extremely sad. My son messaged me this morning from New York, and he said to me that he heard that Regina and Ned's marriage was over, and that the brother tried to rescue Regina from the house and thugs were asked to beat them up and a whole lot of ruckus. And I said, where did you hear this from? KJ said he saw it on the brother's Instagram story. Now, most of you don't know Regina Daniels' brothers' names or even know them like you know Regina, okay? But we got to meet the whole family in Abuja in 2021. We made friends with everybody. We followed everybody on Instagram. I met the extended family, all Ned's wife, all the children. And like I said, we spent time with them. We're family friends. There's nothing I want to ask Ned that he wouldn't tell me. So being a PR specialist now and retired as a journalist and pharmacist, I decided to message Ned immediately on WhatsApp. And I said, Ned, we just saw this. What's going on? Please talk to me. Ned started chatting me, and then eventually he picked up the phone and called me. I spoke to Prince Ned Nwoko for 30 minutes on the phone. And on this phone call, it kind of was like an interview, okay? Because in journalism mode, I was literally interviewing him while he was talking to me. But before I can put out any stories, at the end of our conversation, I said, Ned, I want to report everything you just told me. Some of the stuff he told me was just shocking. I've been trying to reach Regina all day. I can't reach on any of her numbers. And I can understand how she's feeling right now. But you have to hear both sides of the stories, right? But sometimes when you're investigating something, investigative journalism requires just going into the story, defending media freedom, and finding out the truth. You don't have to interview anyone at all. But this is not an interview. I'm not working here. Okay, this hurts me because this comes very close to me in very serious, many things. I decided to do a video and put it out so everybody can share the video and see what's going on. And let me make this clear to everybody. I have not seen Ned in almost 3 years since I left Nigeria, and he did not send me any money or pay me for anything. I simply wanted to let you know what's going on, all right? Every story has different narratives, okay? Some people see black, some people see white, some people see the gray in between. But because they're my family friends, I want to talk to Regina. What I'm about to tell you is very unfortunate. It's very sad, and it hurts me to the core. Regina, I hope you're watching my video. I want to help you. What happened? What is this thing that you're beating, Regina? That you're a domestic abuser? Ned said, first of all, I was not in the house to write yesterday. I traveled. And I came back to see the baby. I think it was Moon, he said, who was sick with a temperature. And that the narrative they put out on all the blogs that he beat her up yesterday, that's not true. Okay. I now wanted to ask Ned, have you ever beat Regina? Okay. There's a line you draw when you're asking certain questions because that could be their private life. Regina too could have hit Ned. Ned is about my age group. Okay. I respect him very much. Prince Ned Nwoko is about 64, I believe, and I'm 61 now. Now, this is what I heard. Do you guys remember 2 years ago when I did a video about Regina vaping? A vape is something that looks like a plastic thing like this. It's like e-cigarettes. Instead of smoking cigarettes, you vape. Regina was blowing out the smoke out of the vape in the club with her friends, and she posts all these things online. I was concerned, and I spoke to the NDLEA about this because the week she was vaping, we were doing shows and stories about vaping and cigarettes. And I felt that Regina, being a very, very big influencer and figure, okay, might influence young people. Because when President Biden was about to leave, and even President Obama, that was the main topic with the Surgeon General of the United States. Vaping is harmful. You can type it in, VAPING. And then when one company brought vapes to Nigeria in different flavors, strawberry, pineapple, and all that, and they were using Big Brother Nigeria stores to promote vaping, I countered them, and they stopped advertising. These things will kill you, they'll harm you. I put that video out, and I was so concerned about Regina 2 years ago. 2 years later, Ned told me Regina has a huge substance abuse problem. In other words, she's been using drugs. For the past 8 months, he listed the drugs that she's getting treated for at a rehabilitation center, and that she is coming in and out of rehab. In other words, relapsing. It works this time, it doesn't work again. Some of these drugs are so powerful, they take over you. I went through this with Whitney. Everyone knows that Whitney Houston was my friend. Everyone saw what I went through with Whitney. Maybe some of you in Nigeria don't. You see all the pictures of me and Whitney. I was helping. I was trying my best with Whitney. I was the blogger for the reality show, okay, being Bobby Brown. And all I saw here is, oh my God, not Whitney again. Regina was coming in and out of rehab. She'll get treated and she'll get addicted again. Ned wrote me for a little bit on the chat, and then he picked up the phone because sometimes it's too hard to type a lot. And what he told me was that she was being treated for a whole host of drugs. Okay, even though he mentioned the drugs to me, and I did ask him, can I say this on my story? He okayed it, but I don't want to say it because I'm also a pharmacist, remember? Yeah, I'm a retired pharmacist of 37 years. Confidentiality clauses, okay? Nobody needs to know what the drugs are, okay? I can tell you one starts with a C, okay? So then you can float your heads all around the C drugs. Regina smokes weed, and she takes some very hard opiates. I'm not going to mention them. The hardest opiates ever. These drugs that her husband told me she was on will ruin your life. You will be so addicted you can't get it. This is what happened to Whitney. This is what happened to Mac Miller, the rapper. I have been through this with several celebrities and public figures. This is why I went to the NDLEA in February of 2022, that I want to be a volunteer and educate people in Nigeria, schools, communities, and workplaces. And this is what I did. I have been on the NDLE spaces consistently for 30 months. I only stopped 3-4 months ago, but I still came in August to do a presentation on drugs and the environment. People, this stuff is really bad. The key of what I want to tell you on this video is what Prince Ned Nwoko said to me. Regina's sister and her friends introduced her to drugs. Just like we thought Bobby Brown introduced Whitney, it was actually her own brother that introduced her. He told Oprah that after she died. Her friends, Prince Nwoko told me that Regina became super content creator, and he went to the bathroom. I had no idea Regina was filming. Honestly, I thought that was AI, was filming her. And that's why he looked like, what? You see, Regina still has that little girl, young girl in her. When you're married, you can't do those things. What made Regina film Prince Ned about to use the toilets? Well, this is what drugs can do to you. Your thinking and mode of, realizing what's right and wrong becomes impaired. So the video is real. Now, the second thing I want to say is that Ned is blaming her friends. Ned said, oh, I felt bad for him. I was almost crying. Honestly, I was in a drugstore and a restaurant. I was in a restaurant ordering food, and I went to a drugstore next door where I am, and like I was almost in tears. He said, I allow her to go out with her friends. They do glam night on Sundays. They go out, they party, blah, 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 glam night. And then they come out very late. And I tell her, the children are sleeping. Like somebody came up to the house with Regina, and Ned said, Regina, make sure that girl is gone in an hour or she sleeps over, because everybody's already asleep. And literally 2 more girls joined them in the house, and they were partying still. Like, in his words, I have done my best for Regina. I spend a lot of money on her, but she's now spending all that money on drugs, which her friends introduced her to. I'm very sad tonight, people. Share my video. I'm just very sad. I told Ned I will contact him back. He said he will release a statement tomorrow. Hello to everybody in Nigeria. This is Dr. Kemi. I just want to update you on Regina Daniels' case and my conversations with Ned Nwoko. Today is Monday, the 20th of October, 2025, and I've been looking at all the stories online and the updates and all. Like I said in my Instagram update, in my IG story, this story with Regina is bigger than all of us. It's bigger than me, it's bigger than you. I do want to clarify some things. I'm not Ned's spokesperson, okay? I'm not being paid by Ned. I'm not anything to Ned. I'm just a family friend, okay? Now, I have constantly engaged him on WhatsApp, our private chats, and I've not been able to reach Regina. Regina's phone is off. I've messaged her several times on WhatsApp. She wouldn't talk to me. The situation that I'm looking at right now is very dire. And when I say dire, it's life or death, literally. I want to clarify a few things, okay? I'm going to say something to you right now, all right? My health is deteriorating because of your situation. I'm worried what's going to happen to your life and what's going to happen to your children. My health is deteriorating because of your situation. I'm worried about what's going to happen to your life and what will happen to our children. I said that twice because I didn't want to read it off my chat. This is what Ned sent to Regina about a week ago, all right? He said his health is deteriorating because of this case of the drug use, and that he's worried about Regina's life and what will happen to the children. Guys, this is not even, I can't tell you half of what I need to tell you. Okay, I'm not a journalist anymore. I'm not practicing. I'm retired. And if I was practicing, there's just some aspects of this that I can't even tell you. So leave it alone. If you care about Regina, you go into her comments and say, Regina, please go for treatment. If you care. If you don't care, then you're there praising her, calling her queen and all this nonsense. Okay, this girl is on the verge of dying with these drugs. It's massive. Now, let me say this to you, Sweezy. I met you in Abuja with your other brother when I came there, Regina's brother, that posted today and said that every marriage has a problem, da-da-da-da-da-da. He said something that Regina is not affiliated with any drugs and all that. Yes, she is, Sweezy. Okay? The toxicology test says that. Alcohol, cocaine, opiates, prescription opiates, marijuana. It's a cocktail of dangerous drugs. This is my area. And the doctors urged Ned to send her in for another rehabilitation detox. So she's withdrawing. A withdrawal is when you go for rehabilitation, you come out and then you withdraw and the drugs come back. You have another appetite for the drugs. Let me say this to you, Sweezy. Okay? Prince Ned Nwoko, Senator Ned Nwoko, told me on the phone today, Monday, 20th of October, 2025, that you and N are the main suppliers of hard drugs to Regina. And everybody out there saying that Regina needs to get away from something, shut the fuck up. Many of you are drug users. You don't escape from anything. You just use it recreationally. Regina is using drugs recreationally. They are taking advantage of her. And I know you very well. Your other name is Cassie. It's not Macaulay. I will use that opportunity to tell you it's not Annie Macaulay, Two Faces X. Okay, she has battled her own drug problems. And she almost died. And she was in a very long rehab. When somebody's in rehabilitation or they have a drug problem, you need to help them. We need to help Regina. I went through this with Whitney Houston. I cannot go through this again. When I was the blogger for Being Bobby Brown, the reality show for Bobby Brown, I saw the fights and I saw the drug use. I will post one picture at the end of this video. Whitney's eyes were swollen. That morning, they had just fought again. And when those drugs are in her system, she gets very, very emotional, erratic behavior, serious withdrawal symptoms, throw things around the house, break everything. Whitney gets very violent. And she's a cigarette smoker. There was once when we were shooting the reality show at the Grand Hyatt in Atlanta, and Whitney wanted us to cross the road to a small corner shop across the road. And I said, for what? Because she wanted to buy a pack of cigarettes. Whitney Houston smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day, almost 24 cigarettes a day. And then at home, crack cocaine. I was the person, the journalist that interviewed Carolyn Brown in 2004. You don't know anything about me. Those of you on Facebook know my history when it comes to celebrities in America and all the work I've done, but I don't post it anywhere else. I interviewed Carolyn Brown, Bobby Brown's mother, and she told me that Bobby did not bring white powders to Whitney. That's the way she said it. Rest her soul. She has died now. Bobby did not introduce Whitney to white powder. Bobby only smoked weed. That interview was very viral in 2004. It's an era where we didn't have social media. There was no Facebook, Twitter, or anything. It was blogs that we ran in those days. And I had one popular entertainment blog. I interviewed her on live radio at V103. At the end of our station is defunct now, V103, Baltimore, and then Atlanta, I don't know. I'm just really upset right now. So when it was revealed that it was not Bobby that introduced Whitney to white powder, meaning cocaine and heroin and all those things, we have a narrative that we want to hear on the social media. Social media is worse. Anything we hear, we want to believe it because Regina is the beautiful, proper one. She started vaping on videos and showing you the shisha that she's blowing has drugs inside it. We said this at the NDLEA spaces. A lot of the shisha they're smoking in Abuja has drugs inside. Marijuana, cannabis mixed into shisha, and then you have pineapple flavor, orange flavor, strawberry flavor. It's still drugs. At the end of the day, Whitney died. We tried our best to get her into rehab. Whitney got into rehab. After she became clean, she did the album. The album was successful. She went on all kinds of tours. She was on Oprah, all that, until the Grammy nominations came out. She was not nominated. She fell down, sunk down into drugs again. It was the nightmare of my life and many others. Her adopted son, Nick Gordon, died of a drug overdose. Her daughter died of a drug overdose, the same way in the bathtub. Because the children saw the mother doing drugs. When Whitney did not get that Grammy nomination, she was going to attend the Grammys, at the Beverly Hilton, where they have these pre-Grammy parties. She was seen at the swimming pool that morning, talking to a man. That was her drug dealer. The guy brought in some crack. She smoked the crack, went to the room, ordered food, and then she lay down into the bathtub high, and she ended up dying in the bathtub, almost like drowned. After the autopsy, they found that her system had drugs in there, but what really killed her is the thickening of her heart, which was due to drug use. This is what I'm seeing with Regina, and I don't want it to get to that stage. So stop fucking around, people, okay? Stop All this, Regina that. She married too young. Her marriage is none of your business. Leave her marriage alone. It's up to her to fix that. And stop attacking her mother. Oh, Rita Daniels forced this. I am the one that broke the story in 2016 or 17, I believe. I'm going to look for that video. If you don't know, it wasn't Stella that broke the story. I broke the story. And I remember having lunch with Ned and Regina and telling them during that lunch, how did you feel when I broke the story? When I finally met them? You don't know what I know. Sweezy, stop telling people she does. She's on a lot of drugs. I've seen for myself. Regina, come out and go into rehab or just go to Jordan and do this stuff. Because these drugs will kill you. These people supporting you, they're the ones writing RIP if you die. God forbid. Those 2 children. You need to clean up. You need to clean up, Regina. You need to clean up. I will be on Silverbird TV tomorrow, guys, 2 p.m. with Kike's show. Good morning, everybody. This is Kemi Olunloyo, Dr. Kemi. It's the 21st of October, 2025, Tuesday morning. The time in Nigeria should be 12:28, meaning that in about an hour and a half, I'm going to go live on Silverbird TV to chat with Kike on the Real Talk with Kike's show. I'm going to discuss the marital crisis going on between Senator Ned and Regina Daniels. Now, this show is to resolve things and to discuss. However, I do want to warn everybody, okay? This is a warning, and I'm strictly saying it to you now, all right? I've messaged Egbetokun on WhatsApp, all right, the IGP. I am not playing with anybody. The last time I arrested somebody in Lagos State, before I left Nigeria, I left them in the prison for 1 year because I wasn't coming back to court in Nigeria. So the police was begging me to drop the case so that they can go home. I ended up doing that. His family also begged me. There are many things going on in Nigeria that you don't know. Okay? The cybercrime law of defamation was used to arrest me by BOME. It was dismissed because I didn't defame BOME. Okay? But I will use that same law to arrest you if you defame me. One guy has already defamed me this morning. He's telling me to post my phone call with Ned Nwoko, my chats. Why would I post it? Why would I post chats? I don't post chats and I don't post phone calls. I don't record people unless I'm doing a phone interview. I don't have anything to prove to you. Don't disrespect me. There's a boundary. The Kemi Olunloyo that you disrespect when I was in Nigeria is not the one now. Okay? I don't fuck with 2012 to 2023. Do not write anything about me that I'm on Ned's payroll, okay? That Ned is paying me. I've not collected a single penny from Ned. If I have to start cursing you guys out, you wouldn't like it, okay? Ned Nwoko is a very good friend of my son and I. We're family friends. The whole narrative that you're seeing on social media, okay, is killing you. I've been an investigative journalist for 31 years and I retired after 31 years. Instead of you to celebrate that, you sit around the internet believing lies. If you want to know what's the truth, you come to me. Retired or not, since February I retired, I still gave you updates on mobile all the way till September. Now let me warn you, okay, I'm not on anyone's payroll, no one's paying me, no Ned, nobody. I'm concerned about one thing, and the one thing is Regina's health. One of her brothers went online yesterday, Sweezy, saying that Regina, everybody has marital problems. Regina is not on drugs. He doesn't have any. That's a lie. And I did a video to counter that with Sweezy, Sammy, and everybody. Okay? A senator just messaged me now to tell me that Ned was not even in the chambers yesterday. And today so far, they're in the chambers now. He's not here. And I can understand that he might have taken off or maybe he's on leave. I didn't ask him. Now, as I'm talking to you now, the time in Nigeria is 12:31 now. I started this video at your 12:28. In the last 5 minutes, I spoke to Ned Nwoko via WhatsApp, and he told me that Regina is nowhere to be found. He does not know where Regina is. He chatted me and said, when Regina comes home, then that's my way forward. Ned is there looking for his wife so that he can move forward with her in rehabilitation. You are posting nonsense online saying that Regina has gone home, they have settled, they have done this. Why don't you shut the fuck up and listen to me? I called it a marital crisis in the beginning, and it's more than that. You don't know 1/3 of what's going on in that house. What I know that's going on between Ned and Regina, I can't even tell you all of it. I'm only telling you 1/3. Some of this stuff is so private. I'm not taking sides. I want to know what's going on with people that I'm family friends with. I'm not doing journalism. I'm not reporting. I'm not investigating. I'm concerned about Regina's life. Some of you joined me on that Instagram live yesterday, all the way to after midnight, maybe 2 a.m. we were there. 2.5 hours. If you missed it, you missed it. Okay? I don't put anything on my Instagram. All that is Donald Trump stuff. But if you were on that Instagram, you saw the stuff we discussed. It was literally pharmacy school, drugs, what they do to you. Regina is really in danger right now. And I want to appeal to her if she's watching this video. Gina, go home and get into the rehabilitation therapy. Start detoxing. I know it's painful. I know you're going to have a lot of side effects, but you need to do it. You need to get off the drugs. It is causing your aggression. It is causing your... I don't want to go into details. I play tough love because I'm a registered pharmacist in the United States, 37 years. Even though I said I've retired, I might go there tomorrow and say, oh, let me work on the weekends. I'm still a pharmacist. And some of you last night in America that were in the midnight time that were listening to my live, we talked about Johns Hopkins Bayview Medical Center. Many of you don't know what I've done in my career. People were finding out yesterday that I was the outpatient pharmacy director for the rehabilitation center over there. Yeah, I was the head of one of the top hospitals in the world, Johns Hopkins Bayview Medical Center Rehab, the outpatient pharmacy director. I was the one that gave all the rehab patients medicines when they're going home and when they come for clinic. Regina, please go home, okay? Please go home to your children. Please go home to your husband. Go into treatment. Senator Ned has offered to take you to Jordan. Nobody can get treated unless they want to. I'll be on Silverbird at 2 p.m. Nigerian time. Thank you for watching. Dr. Kemi.